Hello everyone and welcome to part 9 of our BMC 1.8 litre diesel engine build. Okay, quite a key one today. Carrying on from our previous video where we did the front timing cover, the timing chain, so on and so forth. We've now rotated the engine 180 degrees so that it's pointing cylinder head end uppermost. All I've done prior to this, okay, is I've put on my alternator bracket and I've put in the oil feed pipe that goes from the block down to the fuel injection pump. And the other thing I've done is I've just got my numbered push rods, okay, in this correct order, the sequence that I removed them, okay, because these ones are still serviceable and within specs. So they're just resting in there at the moment. The cylinder head studs are all there as per the previous video. And at the moment, okay, the number 1 cylinder is top dead center, okay, as is number 4. So where we go from here then? You've rebuilt your cylinder head ready, okay, you may have had it skimmed, so on and so forth. You've done all that work, okay, you've got your new gasket and you're ready to rock and roll, and you haven't done any prep to the top of your block, okay. All I want to do is stress the point that prep to this is key, okay. I've cleaned it again, and I've cleaned it again. I've taken my finger around it and made sure there's no raised points or any rust or ingress or dirt or anything like that. I've taken degreasant panel wipe to it, I've cleaned it with that, and then I've cleaned it again, okay. And then you should have taken a straight edge over the top of the block just to make sure it's completely true. So multiple angles, making sure that that straight edge, okay, is ensuring that the top of your block's completely true and ready to receive the new cylinder head. So what we're going to need then, okay, my new replacement cylinder head or top engine set, okay, is in there. And just to keep it completely clean, the cylinder head gasket is in packaging to make sure that it's completely clean and free from any dirt, grime or debris. So I'm just going to remove that. Bear with me. Okay, so it's out of its first set of packaging and then it's out of its second set of packaging. Okay, nice new thick head gasket, okay, ready to rock and roll. Orientation then, when you're looking at it, okay, it needs to go on in a certain way that ensures that all the oil holes and anywhere where it should be exposed are exposed. Now I've had it before where I've had an engine come in that had an oil starvation problem and it had caused some damage, and when I removed the cylinder head gasket had been orientated the wrong way, so it was actually blocking one of the oil feed holes. So double checking the top of your cylinder, where your cylinder is going to mount, okay, and double checking your gasket, okay, you just need to orientate it in the correct order so that the oil holes are exposed. The key one for us, if you can just see it there, this red hole on a 1.8 BMC, okay. I know, for example, if I went to line that up now, there's no oil hole there. The oil hole is at the other end of the block. So all I do is flip the gasket around 180 degrees, okay, and I'm looking at just gently lowering it in place, okay, guiding the push rods through the holes because I've already put them in place, okay, and just gently easing the new head gasket over. It may be easier, okay, and speed up time if you do the push rods afterwards, but I've done them prior, as you can see. Now I gently lower it in place. Key to note on this good quality head gasket is number 1, it's labelled up as top, and it's got a second marking which says front, so I know it's going to the front of the block, which will ensure that that oil hole that we mentioned is exposed. Right, my cylinder head then. Cylinder head has been skimmed. It's had everything redone to it, okay, so in essence it is a near enough new remanufactured cylinder head. Ensure now that whatever sort of engine mount you're operating on is fully secure. You're about to add a lot of weight to the engine block. Additionally, if you're working in the whether it's still inside a tractor, a boat or whatever, okay, take your time. The last thing you need to be doing is causing any damage to threads, to push rods, to the new gasket. Okay, so take your time, but just bear in mind, a heavy item, you're adding a lot of weight. All I'm going to do now is exactly what I did with the top of the block. I'm going to triple clean the bottom of the cylinder head, okay, and then line it up and gently lower it in place. If you feel any resistance, okay, stop, look what's causing the resistance, and if you need to back off and do it again, then that's what you need to do. Okay, so my cylinder head is now lowered in place, okay, nice and evenly. And then what I'm going to do is go around, okay, with the required nuts, okay, and washers, and work my way around. And at this stage in the game, I'm just looking at doing them hand tight, so they're at the bottom of the threads. Okay, so ensuring that the shims are underneath the two centre pillars. Okay, I've gently lowered on my rocker assembly. Okay, just guiding the balls on the back of the rockers inside the push rods. Okay, like so, making sure they're all evened up. And placed on the last 4 washers and 18mm bolts along the back there. Got 2 longer pillars where you can either put lifting eyes on, or you can put standard ones in there if you're not going to do that. It's where your extended, let's call them nuts, will hold your rocker cover on, okay, and then in the middle and torque those up as per spec. All the other bolts, head bolts, okay, 102 Newton meters. Okay, and all I'm going to do now is, using the workshop manual, is in a cross pattern, is torque those up to the required spec. A point to note then, underneath your rocker assembly are 3 of the head bolts. Okay, so you are going to need a crow's foot adapter to get into those. So rocker cover fitted, okay, just waiting for my new oil filler cap, because there are 2 diameters, they do vary. I accidentally ordered the smaller one, so we're just waiting for that to come on. But what I've done is fitted my thermostat gasket, thermostat housing. Okay, 2 thermostats that are common, 74 and 82 degrees. Okay, I've gone for the 72 degree thermostat. Make sure it's cleared from any sort of ingress, dirt, grime, okay, and then I've placed my thermostat in. Followed that by the new gasket. A point to note, with the gaskets, they do vary in material. There are cork, there are paper gaskets, so on and so forth. Okay, this head nut at this end, okay, commonly has the washer underneath removed. And that's simply because if you have the washer, you sort of eat into the real estate that your thermostat gasket and thermostat housing will fit to. So washer removed from that end, okay, but still torque tightened up to spec. Okay, so I've dropped my thermostat in, placed the gasket down, and then new thermostat housing on the top there. 5/16 again, okay, all the way around, okay, and just net them up. So nice new thermostat ready to rock and roll. Okay, we're going to call it a day there on this video. Okay, when we come back to it, I'm just going to go along the motions of putting in the thermostat temperature sensor, okay, located down where my finger is. Okay, hopefully the oil filler cap has arrived by then. We've got 2 points, okay, takeoffs on the top of the cylinder head. Okay, you might be using a clarifier or something like that. In the case of this engine, it's not going to be set up for that. So next thing we'll be doing is installing 2 bungs in there, okay, threaded bungs, and a few other bits and pieces that we're going to concentrate and add to this video. Okay, next addition that you will see, okay, is lifting eyes. Now, I personally have kittens when I see lifting eyes attached to the 5/16 threaded studs on here. Okay, you've got a really heavy engine now. Add to that the gearbox, the heat exchanger and stuff like that. Okay, I just don't have any sort of confidence that that amount of weight should be taken up by these two 5/16 threaded studs underneath there. So I've ordered the lifting eyes, okay, and one is going to be placed down here and the other one is going to be placed on the far end of the block. So again, we're going to have to undo two of the head stud nuts, okay, and then we're going to have to torque it back down, but that's just one of the additions. So look forward to the additions later on in the video. Okay, so the final addition of this cylinder head piece then, lifting eyes have arrived. Okay, that's how I'm fitting them on because that's how I find them best orientated, which will even up the weight distribution. Okay, our thermostat housing, okay, not too sure about this one, okay, because when I get my heat exchanger on there, okay, it's quite a short distance of hosing that goes from the thermostat housing over towards the heat exchanger. So I may opt to take this thermostat housing off and find one that's better angled to just reach across to where the heat exchanger will go. So that one may be disappearing and be replaced. But that's the main cylinder head and all its associated parts, bar the oil filler fitted on. So that concludes this little segment, okay, and look forward to the next video. Thanks for watching.